Hey, welcome to Fluke. So what we've been listening to here is a new flute from Elementalflutes, Dustin Selva. This is a custom flute. I'll give you a link to one of his introduction videos talking about the Mayan extended scale, or Mayan Temple drone flute extended scale. So he does this as a triple. And the video I'll give you a link to is as a triple flute with an additional barrel for the low root note, what I would call the A note. We'll get to that in a moment. But I asked him if he could do it as a double, just so it would be a little more comfortable to hold and a little less unwieldy, I think. And so knocked it out of the park, I think. Okay, so some special things about this flute. First of all, getting a double check on the flute wood. Dustin said he was going to do it in poplar. This looks very much more figured than I'm familiar with on poplar wood. It seems maybe it's an ambrosia maple, but especially look at the back. Kind of looks more like a maple to me, but whatever. And then the block wood, also probably a maple, but just stained a little bit different color and maybe with some cedar on the bottom. All right, so some things about this flute. It has 6 holes on the melody side plus a thumb hole, and then on the drone side 3 plus another thumb hole. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 holes total on this flute. So what is going on here with the tuning? Well, this one is in the key of E flat, is the root note, but I'm going to think of this in terms of a standard Native American style flute in the key of A. And the reason for that is the bottom notes on both sides are the same as a regular Native American style flute. So it would be A, C, D, E. And then you get the extra note would be an F on the drone side. And then on the melody side, the top hand is different. So you go from A, C, D, E. Next note up, you see this big gap here. The next note is a big gap up to the G. Then you get A, B, and the thumb hole gives you the C. So you get a very broad range just in the first register, all the way from the root note A up to an octave plus a minor third, which is really the whole normal range you get with Native American style flute. You get that entire range in the first octave. And there's not really much of a second octave. I've really only found one note in the second register. So if I'm calling the all notes off C, I can get to a C sharp. So you can get the C in the second register and then a C sharp as well, and that's really about all I've been able to find. There may be some other harmonics or things you could do, but that's in terms of usable notes. You get kind of one extra note from your standard NAF range. But the real secret is all the drone possibilities. So I do not have what's called the Mayan Temple flute in another configuration. Typically, you would not have these 3 notes here on the melody side. You would just have, so it would be exactly if I'm playing two-handed like this. So you would have the first 1, 2, 3, and then additional one. I don't think this is fairly typical either. So typically you would just have 6 holes on the top, but the thumb holes really add some depth and extra possibilities too. So you get that, like I said, A, B, C, D, E, F if you count the thumb hole. And then the top hand starts with E and is the same interval. So it's E, G minor third, A, and B, right? So if you play them together, you're getting parallel fifths. And even if you can play it with both thumbs off, which is kind of hard to do because you got to hold the flute somehow. But that's also parallel fifths. So the two hands are parallel fifths, and that gives you a lot of possibilities in terms of playing it kind of freestyle. And then the other possibility that we will look at a few examples in that opening playing sample, but this gives you even more possibilities. And this is a pretty neat invention, or I don't know if he invented it, but it's pretty neat anyway. So you've got these kind of wood top and like a rubber on the bottom. So these are plug holes for the drone side, and they are that's the back hole. So they are sized, so you have to get them in the right way. So this gives you some other possibilities that you can set up a drone note, and we did some of that before, but you can get kind of some exotic combinations here. Like if you wanted a, what I would call a C-sharp drone, should be able to get that. Yeah. You know, so we'll explore some of those options later. If you put all of the plugs in, then it's kind of like just a typical drone flute. You get the root note, and we looked at that at the beginning as well. So let's look at some other options. Now this thing actually cross fingers really well. It's different than your standard NAF in the top hand at least, but once you get the notes in your head, the cross fingering works very naturally. So if you want a half step down, you just leave a hole open and do the next one down. Right. So if I'm playing a D, I can hit the bottom for a C sharp, which would be your standard NAF cross fingering. And that works all the way up. So E to E flat, G to G flat, or F sharp, A to A flat, and then B to B flat. So it's actually chromatic, and then the other missing note would be the F, but you can get that with G flat flat. All right, so let's see if we can do a almost chromatic. Now you're going to still be missing the minor second up from the root, just like on standard NAF. The only thing I'm having a little bit of trouble with, and you can see it there, is reaching all 6 notes on the melody side, especially with the plugs in. It kind of gets in the way of my finger getting down to cover that last note. Now typically that won't be too big of an issue, because you're typically going to have either the root note on the drone side to play with, and we kind of saw that earlier too. So you just switch over that, or just play it all the time. So that note, I don't think is going to be that big of a limitation. So this is a very versatile flute. Looking forward to trying some different things on this. And yeah, it'd be kind of neat to maybe get a single configuration of this, just because of the cross fingering and the range in the first octave. That's pretty cool. I don't know that it is really that much of an advantage over other 7-hole systems like Steve Peterman's G that I have. I've shown you that one, because that will also get you up to the high C sharp. But yeah, different configuration, and it will get you there. So that is pretty neat. Okay, I think that's all we need to talk about as far as discussion. So let's put a little reverb and stuff on this, and close out with that. All right, thanks for watching.